Hello, everyone. This is Lynissa Hayes with Makers Avenue. Today, I am doing a flip through of a new creative junk journaling book. Um, these are kind of popular right now. I have the one from Martina, Year Junk Journaling, but I just recently got this one from Amazon. This is the Creative Junk Journaling book by NATASHA Ahmed. She is a junk journaler, but she's also an illustrator. So this is kind of like the same type of book that Martina Tiny Store created with her Year Junk Journaling. So it gives you a lot of different journal prompts. It doesn't have to be junk journal related, but just like journal prompts in general, and gives you a lot of different ideas. I like this book because like I said, she is an illustrator, so she has a lot of different illustrations. It's not the exact same format, but they're pretty similar in their different approaches, but they both give you ideas on how to journal. And so this one is a fairly new book that came out. And like I said, you can get it on Amazon. I do like this one because of the illustrations. And also, she also includes your once you see me flip to the back, she also includes like a few sheets of scrapbook paper and cut apart illustrations and also a page of stickers. So that's nice. I think these are great books to have. They look pretty, but also they just give you, like, if you don't know where to start with junk journaling or if you don't know what to do, they just give you some ideas and spark inspiration. So yeah, not only will I be flipping through this book today, but I would also be flipping through one of the purchases that I got from Martina's Tiny Store, the new sticker book. And then I will be creating a couple of spreads using the prompt from this book and also using some of the stickers. So, yeah, of course, junk journaling is very popular on like TikTok now and on YouTube, but it's been around for a long time. I think it just kind of, whether you call it junk journaling or not, it doesn't matter. Journaling, period. I like to call it more creative journaling, and I think there's like different styles that kind of fall under that umbrella of different things, but it's all just journaling or memory keeping or keeping a creative log of your life. So here are the stickers. Like I said, I really like her illustrations, and I did purchase. She does have some sticker books. I think one of them is sold, like the main one that she had. So that one's sold out. I don't think she's restocking that one. And then she has a mini version of that stick. Well, not the same one, but she has a mini version, and she just restocked that one. So I did get that one, and I'm waiting for that to come in the mail. But really into the illustrations that she includes, and I do like the background paper, so I do like this aspect a lot when it comes to her book. And I just purchased this book off of Amazon, so it came in pretty quickly. I think it was like $25. And here's a quick look of the biography of who she is. So, and here is a look from Martina's Tiny Store. This is her second sticker book. This is volume 2, Whimsical World. Now, with this sticker book, it is a collection of different artists and illustrators. It says 40 artists and 3,000 plus stickers. A lot of people have the first volume. She did do like a reprint, so I think right now you can still get volume 1 and volume 2. I know, like, there was a time where volume 1 completely sold out, and looks like she did was able to get it reprinted. Now, I would love to get volume 1, but like this one was kind of pricey. She is in Australia, so this it took a little bit longer, and because it is from Australia, because of shipping, it costs a little bit more. So I don't know if I'm gonna go back and buy the first volume. I I feel like I have a lot of sticker books, and I think I will survive. I will survive if I don't have the first volume. I know it's very popular, it's very trending, but I think I'm good. I think now if someone were to sell it, like if I saw it in store, like, if there was like a wholesaler who bought, and I saw it in store, then I might be more tempted to get it. I've seen plenty of flip throughs, and I love this one. Don't I like the illustrations in this one, but it's just for how much it costs plus the shipping. I don't know if I want to go back to get volume one, but I'm glad I was able to get this one, and it's cute. I like most of the illustrations, and as you can see, you get a lot of different types of stickers, and because it's from different artists, you get a lot of different types of illustrations, and I feel like they work for my style of journaling, so I thought it was pretty fun. And then she had a new scrapbook paper pad, which I wanted it, but again, it was one of those things. Well, I have a lot of scrapbook paper, and also it was kind of pricey. So I don't know. I'm trying to be good. I'm not really being good, but I'm trying to be. I'm trying to show some restraint. So anyway, I get these books, but I need to actually use them. So even though I had this book from Martina for a while, this is actually one of my first spreads that I will be be using in it. So the prompts that I chose were soft from Martina's junk 50 a year junk journaling, and then I also chose mood board from Natasha's creative journaling book, and I'm going to kind of combine them together in this TN that I created. So for these first couple of spreads, it's a very loose interpretation of both of those prompts together. So with the soft prompt from Martina, you can see it and you'll see it later. It uses that page use like a lot of different fabric swaps and like actually embroidering stuff in it. Now, me, when I create, I like to do whatever I want. So I like the idea of having soft things. So this spread is more like a very loose interpretation of the word soft and what I imagine, like, kind of like that soft girl era, soft girl living. So that's my interpretation. I will be using fabric pieces and trims on this one, but it's not going to be like the whole spread. And also I'm going to say kind of creating a mood board, even though it's not like a very apparent mood board, but it's going to be visuals of what, like, things that I feel are very soft girl. And so I'm taking images from a magazine that I always use. One of my favorite magazines. It has to deal with like tea times, and because to me that's very soft, soft girl lady. I like tea. I don't really drink coffee, so I'm more of a tea girl. So like I said, I'm just taking pictures from a magazine. This is one of my TNs that I've made, and I'm thinking about making, because I want to use my stash. I'm thinking about making like very simple, easy TN inserts. Thinking about selling them, and they would be very affordable because I want to use up my stuff, but it'll just be different papers. And so let me know if you're interested in that. They're not going to be heavily decorated, but they're going to, have different assortments of papers. Like what word am I looking for? Also have these paper books, and I'm just kind of creating a border. Um, you can use, for these prompts, you can use any journal that you want to. And I am using this journal, but I will also be using an altered composition later on in the video. And because I'm creating a mood board, I like the TN size, but of course you don't have that much room. So I try to utilize like tip-ins and fold outs and kind of interactive elements that I like. And now I'm just taking some papers that I've kind of gathered. When I'm doing stuff like this, I don't like to have a lot of options out on my desk because then I'll start feeling overwhelmed. So I did kind of like pick a few pieces of papers or ephemeras that will go in here for these two spreads that I feel like are soft girl related. And I kind of do this in sections. So I'll get like my main papers first, and then I'll look for like stickers, and then I'll look for photos, and then I'll continue to look like for different embellishments. So I found this, these are just old images that I've gotten from some of my magazines, and they just feel soft girl. They just feel very soft and what I imagine softness to look like and what I want to kind of look like in my life, or just sometimes even in my head, even if I don't actually have like a room that looks like this, or sometimes just like looking at this stuff in my mind, that's enough for me. Even if I like my room may not physically look, now it'd be great if my room could look like this, but it's not happening right now. So just looking at it something could be enough for me. And then we have flowers. I love flowers, love tea. So we're just going for, what, like I said, what I feel, things that are soft. And initially, I was going to add some paint, some white paint, to kind of blend in some of the edges, but I never did get to it. Sometimes I have to be in the mood to bring out my paints to make things more mixed media. I thought I was going to eventually get in the mood, but it never came about. Um, Part of the reason because I have like a very small work area when I'm doing these journaling sessions, so I try to not have too much on my desk. So I just never got to the paint. But that is one way that you can blur edges or make things more cohesive if you're just picking a lot of different random stuff. You could type white paint or any color paint you want and kind of put it around some of the edges. Another thing that I used to do a lot, which I haven't done a lot lately, but if you're into mixed media, you could take modeling paste and stencils and kind of go over it like that. So I used to do that a lot as well. Now, one of these pages I really like, and the other one, I'm not so crazy about how it turned out in the end, but it's okay. You just kind of have to let it go. So for this one, I'm using some tip-in tape by Lauren Phelps, or you can use regular Scotch tape. Um, when I bought the tip-in tape, I only bought one roll because I bought it in person. So I don't use the tip-in tape on one side. On one side, I just use regular Scotch tape. I like the tip-in tape. It's kind of convenient, but like I said, unless I just see it in person, I'm most likely just going to, like, once it runs out, I'm just going to use, my regular Scotch tape. So this image of this woman it's not me, but in my mind, it's like how I like to I would like to see myself in a field of flowers wearing a beautiful flowy dress with the one day future love of my life, holding hands, or even if I'm just in the field of flowers by myself. So again, just that aesthetic, just to imagine myself like that is sometimes all I need, even if I'm not actually in a field of flowers. Now I'm taking some different elements from the book. So some of those cutouts, those illustrations from Natasha's book, I've cut it out and I'm going to add them on the page. Again, I'm adding things that just feel soft, like this picnic basket of flowers is, something that I would ideally imagine myself doing, even if I don't have a basket full of flowers. I love that aesthetic. Or, taking the time to read. And so I'm just putting these elements on the page. They're kind of big for this space, but I'm going to make them work anyway. And we have this cute little scrunchie. I did say I was going to try to learn how to make scrunchies. That's one of the projects that I want to make. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I also have these rub-ons from, I want to say, not Prima Marketing, or is it Prima Marketing? It's their company. I can't remember, but these are like rub-on transfers that are meant for furniture. Now you can use it on paper. I mostly use these types of transfers on paper anyway, but they were made for like furniture or like craft redesigns, DIY projects. And I'm just taking the end of, what is that? What's the tool? The end of you see what it is. I'm just taking the end of that and rubbing it, and it just blends into the paper so nicely. You could really use a popsicle stick there. I'm trying to use a ruler. So I'm just taking anything because I usually have like a bone folder or a special, not, no, not a special tool. I usually have a bone folder, but I didn't feel like going up to go get it. So I'm just using anything on my desk. After I go through some of the illustrations, I went to look through my supply of die cuts and ephemera pieces because I have a lot. We have this little piece of wallpaper. Um, these are like ephemera die cut pieces from like different scrapbook collections, and I like scrapbook supplies even though I don't scrapbook. So I do like the die cuts, and they're very cheap, cheap product, and so I like a lot of different stuff, and I get different collections. So I need to try to use them. So when I'm journaling, I do try to use some of the stuff. It's not going fast enough. My supplies aren't going as fast as I want them to. But yeah, so I do. So I don't always use junk. I use a lot, like I said, I do use more scrapbook supplies. And the journal that I'm in is what I like to call my selfie journal. It's I have a lot of pictures of selfies that I've taken on my phone that are just like focused on me. And this is I went to or I was going to like a mother-daughter tea, so I just took some pictures of myself that day on the outfits I was wearing. And here's another picture of myself. I don't know where I was going, but I just really like to include different images of myself. So, to capture that, so I can see myself over time and to get so my phones won't just be living on my camera, on my phone. My pictures won't just be living on my phone. And then I also have this picture of my journal, Hobonichi Weeks, and some flowers in the background because, again, that feels very soft. And I'm just trying to see where I'm going to put it. And now, finally, once I have my die cuts, now I'm going to go in and start adding stickers to it. So I go from the process of adding like my main background papers, then die cut elements. Now I'm going to look for stickers and pictures. And then I think the last thing I kind of do is look for actual fabric since the prompt is soft. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to the stickers that I pick. I'm just picking stickers that I feel like go with this spread that kind of give the feeling of things that are very soft or cozy or in that aesthetic that I'm just going for. But I like to, depending on the type of person you are, some people like to pick stickers that match directly. Like some people would just use the stickers on the same page. But I like to mix my stuff so that way it feels more eclectic. Like it's not just one artist. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe just it feels more like me when I'm mixing stuff up. Since the prompt is soft, I'm going through my ribbons and trims and seeing where I can add it and how I can add it in on these two spreads. I got this little, I don't know what you call it. It's kind of a mesh towel from Dollar Tree. They had it, used to sell it a while ago, and I had like little dried flowers, so I kind of made a little bouquet. Now I'm taking some lace trim from the top and I'm adding that, so there is that actual textile feeling of softness, and it adds some layers and dimension and just like texture. It's very tactile, so you can feel the softness. And then I am taking some other trim that I'm adding kind of like as a ruffle. I think I got this one from Hobby Lobby. And I feel like it went well with the page and it adds another layer or dimension to what I'm doing. And I really like the way that looked. And for this, I wanted to see how could I further soften the page. Like I said, I could have used white paint, but I didn't want to obscure it too much, and I just at this point I didn't feel like getting paint out. So I have this like daisy ribbon trim, and I thought, that if I layered it up and like staple part of it, it slightly softens the page a little bit more. It adds a little mystery, and I did like this effect. Hello, everyone. So I just want to come in with a little chat, in between chat. I did finish the spread. I didn't finish it all on camera. Well, I'm going to say it's finished for now. I sometimes when you journal, you love what you do, and sometimes, eh. So I had mixed feelings about this one. So I'm done with it with this spread for right now. Like I said, this was a very loose interpretation of the prompt from both books. I chose soft and I chose a mood board. So my idea was to create a mood board of soft things. Did this really accomplish this? I don't know. I'm not loving it. It's not bad, but it's not one of my favorite ones. Like, out of here. And I feel like this, with a lot of the spreads in this book, it takes me a lot longer to complete these spreads in a way that I like them. So they always get to a point where there's something I don't like about it, and then later on I'll figure out what to add to make it, something that I like. So something like this spread is a spread that I have that I kind of like, but it still doesn't feel completed. And this took me a while to get to a spot where I feel like, oh, yes, I love it. So the same with this one. It's not there yet. And I don't want to spend that much time on it right now. It'll probably come later, or maybe it won't. There's different journals that I have that, actually don't get finished at all just because I'm ready to move on. This could be one of those spreads. I'm not saying that this is a bad spread. I'm just saying not 100% feeling it. There's some things I like about it. I'm just not feeling it 100%. I did add some fabric ruffles on the side because, again, it's going with that soft. I'm doing images and stickers that represent soft things. Then I have lace here on this side. So I like that. To me, something's missing from this. I don't know if it's words. It's not together yet. So, and then I added this. I felt like the picture was blending in that I took of my journals that, again, feel like softness to me. I don't like that. I don't like this color blue. So it made it stand out, but I don't like the way it looks. So it's not there yet. Now this one is almost there. It's still not there. I like this one a little bit more, but it's still not there. So I have these dried flowers and this Dollar Tree toll, and I still feel like something's missing here. We have a lace trim right here. Again, that feels soft. Then we have these ribbons that are kind of like, kind of distort things, kind of soften the look of the page a little bit more than pictures of myself. Like I said, this is kind of like my selfie or about me journal because there's mostly pictures of me. So it still feels like things are missing. Maybe missing elements are words. I don't know if I feel like writing right now or like feel like putting words in here right now. So I won't do it right now. And then after, I know my phone kind of died, so that was the reason why some of this was done. Now this has nothing to do with the prompts from the book. I just had leftover papers, or I saw papers around my desk and like, oh, let me put these in because I like the way it's going. So yeah, so these aren't done. Sometimes just start building pages, and then I had a napkin and did that as well. So just wanted to talk about. So this is finished for right now. It's finished, but it's not finished. So we'll leave it at that. This is finished, but not finished. But I did still want to continue. Hold on a second. Maybe I got an idea. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Oh, wait. Okay. I think that's an idea. Kind of like that. Okay. Okay, we're going to come back to that. So, again, that's one of the benefits of coming back to stuff. But I think kind of like something about this. So we're going to come back to this. I don't know if I will do it on camera, but we're going to come back to that. I think I just had an idea of something, of adding something. But I do want to show you another journal that I did start working on that took the prompt from Martina's book, Soft. It took it into a more literal direction. So I started on it, and maybe I will finish it. I do feel like a lot of times my spreads are better when I'm doing them off camera. I end up liking those a lot more. Now, sometimes it works out, but ew, kind of like that. Hold on, I'm just thinking to myself. Okay, we'll come back. And I'm gonna do this like I did last time. I'm just put it on like voiceover mode. I just wanted to show you and talk about that. So then now I have my thick composition, alter composition junk journal. And so now I say, you know what? I got some scrap fabric. I'm going to go with the more literal version of the prompt. And so I did start on it off camera, because again, sometimes I just start working best off camera. This didn't take me as long to put together. So I had some scraps of fabric. And then I also had pages from a book where they're using fabric and stitching and embroidering to go with it. So now I'm going to finish it. I don't know what I'm going to do just yet. I think I still have some trims. This isn't glued down, so I'll probably put this on the other side. But yeah, now I don't know what I'm going to do with this page yet, but we're just going to play, and we'll see where it goes. So. All right, so like I said, here is me working on the second spread. This is me taking the prompt a little bit more literally. From Martina's book of Soft. So like I say in the book, that she actually shows her using fabric pieces. And so I thought I would go with the more literal concept of that journal page, which I just took some scrap pieces of fabric that I've been had and I pasted it on the page. There is no real direction to this. And I think out of the two spreads, this was definitely my favorite. It would have probably been better, even better, if I added elements of myself, but it's okay if I did it. This was done in my composition notebook, so this is kind of like my junk journal, even though it doesn't look like a junk journal. I say junk journal because some of the stuff I do put in here is junk, but like I said, I combine a lot of my actual junk with a lot of the supplies that I have, so it's not always, things that are straight, heading for the trash. And I don't always, I'm gonna be honest, I like calling it junk journals, but I don't collect that much junk or trash to put in my stuff. Like, I know I could collect a lot more. I do have a few things, but it's mostly just things that I feel like are pretty packaging. But I don't like to keep too much stuff. Like, I know there's a lot of people who like keep food wrappers or different things from their day to day. And for the most part, unless, the packaging is just like gorgeous or pretty, or I'm just really feeling the aesthetic, I just kind of, I actually just prefer to throw a lot of stuff away. Because I don't want to keep it. I don't want to keep, and I'm not downing anyone who does do that. But just for me personally, like if I'm going to a restaurant, unless, let's say if there's a favorite restaurant that I go to, I don't think I need wrappings from that restaurant, to commemorate, like, or candy wrappers. Like I said, unless it's just like something that's visually appealing to me, I don't really want to keep it. I just rather get rid of it. And especially with food. I don't unless it's just something that's, if there's food on the actual wrapper itself, I'm not going to want to clean it and then try to put it in my wrapper. I don't want food collecting in my journals. So there's a lot of stuff that I would just rather throw away. But unless it's just like, oh, it just has a lot of meaning to it or is visually appealing, I feel like I'm just saving myself the space to just throw it away. And, to me, sometimes throwing stuff away feels kind of therapeutic to me. I don't want to hold on stuff for too long. So I already have, trying to figure out my space a little bit more. And it's just easier to throw stuff away at times. So now I'm going in with my stickers. It's kind of like the same thing I do with the previous spread. Once I buy my bigger pieces, like the pieces of fabric, I'm going to go in with die cuts and stickers. I got these Winnie the Pooh stickers from Five Below, and I really like the style. It has like a very watercolor style, and I love Winnie the Pooh. I remember when they came out with that live action movie of Winnie the Pooh. I really loved it, and I cried, and it's just a beautiful movie. And there was a quote that came from Pooh Bear, and it's always kind of like stuck with me. And I really, and I didn't include it in here, but it was one of my favorite quotes that I kind of apply to my creativity or to my crafts. And I'm surprised I didn't write it here, but maybe I'll go back and write it later. And then I also had some different die cuts. I had like this old vintage paper doll from, I have a couple of vintage paper doll books, so I just included this one because I don't know, it just went with it. It went with this aesthetic. And then I also have papers from a little book. Since I didn't want to actually embroider or sew in this myself, I wasn't feeling that crafty. I just include images of embroidered or soft fabric pieces. And for the last part, because I wanted to use these stickers, I am taking the stickers and seeing what I can add to this page. Now, since the page is made up of fabric, I knew these stickers weren't going to stick on the fabric directly. So I am putting the stickers on pieces of Hobonichi paper, and I will cut that out, and then I will use my glue to attach it to the page so that way it has a better chance of sticking. Then I'll just cut around the stickers. Since I had that first quote that says be positive, now I'm going to use the letter stickers from the sticker book that says be soft. So I'm getting ready to come to an end. I'm just taking some other stickers from another sticker book. I'm doing the same process, putting them on paper and then gluing them onto the spread. But with this prompt, I feel like this is an appropriate prompt for me to use from the book Soft. because for me, summer is like the most opportune time for me to do all the soft activities. It's really where I get to explore different places, do different things, do all the hobbies because I have the time that I don't have the rest of the year. So I get to do all the soft girl crafts or just really take time to, take myself on different outings or solo dates or, socialize or just spend time and enjoy my own private company. So, yeah, I thought this was like the perfect prompt to kind of start the summer with. And I'm looking forward to see what the rest of the summer brings. But anyway, I hope you liked this video. Um, Let me know if you have these two books or if you planning on getting them. Or when it comes to journal prompts, do you take it by the literal meaning or do you do your own thing? Anyway, here's some final last looks of the spreads that I completed. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a blessed and wonderful day. If you like the content, please hit like or subscribe or leave a comment. Bye.